Hello, L.A. You're up way past your bedtime, aren't you? Hope you've slipped into something comfortable. I know I have. If you're new to town or just new to this whole radio thing, you're listening to The Deb of Night, the only girl who will spend the night with you and leave first thing in the morning, guaranteed. Nobody to fall asleep next to? Go ahead and pull the radio into bed. That's what I'm here for. And hey, why don't you call me sometime? Area code 323-KL5-KTRK.
Find me the officer in charge. I want witness statements, any notes that have been taken. Where's the coroner?
Well, you're the first detective I've even seen here today, but the coroner's over by the body.
Thanks.
Was that Detective Wolf?
Who's that?
You're real green around here, aren't you, newbie? Detective Donna Wolf. She's been in LA 3 months and already she's fascinated by any weird murders that are happening around here, whether they're in her jurisdiction or not.
Then why is she here?
Because a man having his throat torn open in the middle of the city is a little weird.
Sorry, sir, this is a crime scene. You can't enter until we're finished here.
I'm Detective Anderson.
Ah, Detective. It's a good thing you're here. You better hurry on over. Looks like the lone wolf is trying to take this case out from under you.
Thanks.
Why did you let him through? All he showed you was a blank piece of paper.
What are you talking about? That was a badge you just showed us. Did you not see it?
I guess not.
Oh, you have failed me for the last time. Hi. The lone wolf, I presume. I'm Detective Anderson. Let's see what we got.
Weren't you a coroner's assistant a few weeks ago?
Oh, I can honestly tell you I have never been a coroner's assistant.
Really? I could have sworn I saw you at a crime scene a while back. Listen, I know that this is your case, but all I'm asking is that you let me help you investigate it.
What, there aren't enough murders in your department?
Well, that's just it. It seems like this murder is somehow connected to it.
Well, I'm sorry to tell you, but it seems like just a normal, random attack to me.
I know, but have you ever noticed how weird this city is at night?
No weirder than any other city I've seen.
I have these bodies that look like they've been attacked and torn apart by this giant beast for over a month, and then suddenly it stops. And a week later, an escaped tiger has been captured, but I know that these people weren't murdered by a tiger.
I don't know, a tiger seemed convincing to me.
And then I find bodies that look like they have been burned, but there's no burn by the marks. And then I get a report that says it was an electrical accident. Case closed.
I mean, with the power lines in this city, I am sure
But then I find a guy who looks like he's been tortured and murdered by some kind of silver blade. And before a proper autopsy can be done, I get a note that says it's been turned over to the CBI.
Well, I mean, it's happened to me more times than I would like to admit.
But I have a friend at the CBI, and I contacted her, and she said that there's no record of it ever, of them taking the case over.
I'm sure it just got lost in the bureaucracy. I mean, we know how governments are.
There is something going on in this city, and I think these murders have something to do with it.
Well, I'm sorry to burst your bubble, but there's nothing unusual about this case.
Are you kidding me? His throat's been ripped out.
Yes, and I am sure that the coroner stated that the body was probably placed here due to the lack of blood.
Yeah, with a wound like that, he would have bled out all over.
Yes, and the marks on his arms, probably defensive wounds from when he was trying to shield himself from the attacker. If you look, coming down this way, there's a little trail of blood. Probably spilt when he got his first wounds on his sides, but his sweater absorbed most of it.
And when did you spot that?
When I was walking up here to talk to you. And then he got thrust into this corner, and that's when our killer delivered the final blow.
So where did the blood go?
Well, did you know that most mammals have two giant arteries that run down the side of your neck, which is why most predators, when they're killing their prey, will go for the throat. The prey bleeds out in a matter of seconds. Now imagine for a second our killer bit down right there, ripped down those arteries, and started sucking, drinking in all that blood, leaving very little to pool around him.
Drink. You mean like a vampire?
Don't be ridiculous. Vampires don't exist. This was done by a Nosferatu. Man inflicted with a terrible disease to where he can't create his own red blood cells. So he has to drink the red blood cells of other people, and it gets all complicated. I don't quite get it all.
Are you kidding me? You expect me to believe this was done by a vampire?
Nosferatu. And if you don't believe me, contact the CDC. They'll be here soon enough anyway. And then they'll take over the case, and then they will tell you that you can't tell anybody about this, because if people knew that there was a disease that was transmitted from blood to blood contact, people would get into a panic or some such like that.
How do you know all this?
Oh, this isn't my first, and probably won't be the last time I've had to deal with this kind of case. But once the CDC gets here, they'll take over, they'll confiscate all the notes, witness reports, the body, and then they'll tell you that you can't tell a soul and threaten you with all kinds of things if you ever do. And then they'll take all your previous cases leading up to this, confiscate them, and will probably tap your phone lines for the next month or so. So, wish granted. The case is yours. It must be terrible being smarter than everybody else, being on the edge of understanding, but not realizing that the edge is a cliff with no bottom.
So, are you and Detective Anderson working on this case together again?
Again? What do you mean again?
That case I got turned into the CBI. He said he knew the victim.
So he was there.
Yeah, that's what I just said.
Officer Annalise,
Yes, ma'am.
that detective over there, did you see his badge?
Well, I didn't see anything. All I saw was a piece of blank paper, but Officer Lamb assures me that he saw it.
Thank you.
Still awake? Something on your mind? Give me a call, 323-KL5-KTRK. Ask to speak to the cute one. Line 3, you're speaking to me.
Sup, Deb?
And what have you been up to tonight, caller? Wink, wink.
I'm getting I'm effed up, Deb! Woo!
What's the occasion?
It's a weekday!
Touché.
See, I told you. Once Clinton gets done remodeling, it'll look like the Screamer attack never happened.
He already is done.
And it looks better. Why are you making cookies?
Well, I figured it's time to change my face. You know, with the Order of Shadows looking for me and all.
I think we're talking past each other.
Or the elephant didn't show up for the meeting because he's still locked in the fridge.
Would explain why I was able to get across the crocodile-infested river.
So, what big baddie are we fighting this time? Clinton told me that you guys ran into a Kikamora a couple months ago. You know, those are pretty rare even in Europe. Did you figure out how it got here?
No, I haven't, and that's just one of many things that are on my list that I need to figure out. And there is no big beastie for us to fight.
But you said...
I know. It looked like a fake killing, but turns out it was a vampire. Human disease, affects only humans, thus a human problem.
Well, that's boring.
So what are we going to do for the rest of the night? You can do whatever you want. I am going to track down this tattoo.
And what exactly is this?
That is a tattoo that I have been seeing more and more of the past year or so.
And you think that they were killed because of it?
No, but with all the stuff that's been happening with the Order of Shadows, kind of completely forgot about it.
And what is all this?
I've been trying to catalog all the sightings and places I've seen this tattoo in an attempt to try and find its source. Only problem is there's no pattern to discern. Young, old, male, female, rich, poor. Some are covered in tattoos, while some only have the one tattoo. Some only have the glyph, and some have other fey runes on them.
Have you asked them where they got it?
Well, the ones that aren't violent tell me the exact same thing. It's something I got a while back.
Exactly like that.
Word for word.
Yeah, that sounds like a pre-programmed response to me.
Due to heavy magic conditioning, I know. Is that Tiana?
Didn't sound like it. I swear, if this is another spider thing.
What's wrong? Whoa! What happened to you?
You tell me. I get out of the shower and I look like this.
Oh.
Women are screaming, my ears are bleeding, my morning is ruined. Who is she?
Tiana.
What is happening to me?
Well, if I had to venture a guess, I'd say you're going through an identity crisis.
Okay, what did you do before you got into the shower?
I don't know. I grabbed my clothes and shampoo.
Alright, what did you do before that? Did you eat anything? Did you drink anything? Maybe a bottle that said, "Drink me."
Never gonna let that one go, are we?
No.
I don't know. I had a cookie.
The cookies I just made?
Yeah, there was a plate full of them. I didn't think anyone would mind.
Thomas, what did you do?
Okay, well, sometimes it takes a few tries before I find a face that I like. So, I make the magic powder in bulk.
Why didn't you just make it into a drink?
Because the ingredients taste horrible. So, I put them in something sweet to mask the bitterness. Cake, brownies, or
A plate full of cookies?
delicious cookies.
I don't care. Just how do you change me back?
I can't. Sorry. It's irreversible. I mean, I can give you another cookie.
So you mean I'm stuck like this for the rest of my life?
Well, if it makes you feel any better, you look 5 years younger.
Ah!
What?
You made a plate full of magic cookies, and you didn't even bother to tell a resident human not to eat them.
Usually the screaming doesn't happen until after I've arrived. Looks to be permanent. Sorry, kid, but it looks like you're stuck with this face.
Who is this woman and why is she touching my face?
That would be the Lugaea, one of Oberon and Titania's firstborn children.
Who has been terrorizing Feykind for over 4,000 years.
What do you mean?
Oh, eating babies, harvesting organs from living victims, among other things.
What other things?
Oh, don't look so scared, child. I've been clean for nearly 500 years.
You mean 600?
Sure. Anyway, Nephrin says here that he can change appearance, but once it's done, it's irreversible. In other words, looks like you're gonna have to learn to like your new face.
So, what brings the Lugaea from her city of San Francisco to the city of Los Angeles?
I'm hunting a vampire.
Wait, vampires are real?
Now, before you go dating it, you need to understand that they're not like the ones you read in your books. They're mindless beasts. And it's a blood disorder that can only affect humans. So, why are you after it?
Because this vampire was a fae.
Come again?
That's impossible. Even the smallest amount of magic would protect a Fae from the Nosferatu syndrome.
Besides, If it could, I would have turned Clinton into a vampire years ago.
So imagine my surprise when all of a sudden this thing is killing people in my territory. And the humans aren't the only ones that are hunting it.
Wait, who else is looking for it?
The Order of Shadows.
Why would the Order of Shadows be looking for a vampire?
Well, from what I learned from one of their people I found, they were trying to make a hybrid.
Oberon's balls, this couldn't get any worse. What?
Do not take my father's name in vain.
Okay.
And it could get worse if the CDC were to find out. Hence the reason we need to find this thing before the humans figure out it's on the loose.
Actually, they already know.
What? Please tell me how they already know.
Because I told them? What? I went to investigate something that resembled Fae. Turns out, it had all the signs of vampirism. Vampirism is a human disease that is supposed to only affect humans. So, let the humans take care of it.
You're right. This can't get any worse.
Okay. We need to act fast. Thomas, you go with the Lugea. See if you can track down the Order of Shadows. If the Lugea knows that this vampire is in Los Angeles, chances are they won't be far behind. Clinton, you take Tiana. Go, search the streets, see if you can find this thing.
And what about you?
I will go and see if I can slow down the CDC any. If they find this vampire before we do, misfiled paperwork won't be enough to cover our tracks.
Yeah. Nothing like exposing Fae kind to the world and the inevitable war of extinction that follows to motivate you. And the promise of cake.
You might want to take snacks along. You know, it helps keep focused.
Oh, don't worry. I have some jerky.
What kind of jerky?
I'll give you a hint. It isn't deer.
I don't even know what we were looking for.
We're not looking for anything. Ryan's just keeping us away from the Lugea.
She didn't seem that bad or scary.
Yet, Ryan kept his hands on his knife and stayed out of arm's distance the whole night.
Is she really that terrifying?
Fae children are still told stories about the Lugea to keep them from misbehaving.
So then why doesn't Ryan, do his thing?
I don't know the whole story, and I don't think I ever will. But from what I've been told, the Hyperion chased the Lugea for 300 years straight, all over the world. They finally got so tired of fighting, they reached an agreement. She would stop being evil if he stopped chasing her.
So then why are we out here looking for a vampire?
Ryan's probably using us as bait, either to draw out the vampire or the Order of Shadows.
I thought you just said that he was keeping us away from the Lugea.
You still haven't figured out Ryan, have you? You don't think he could have two reasons for doing the same thing?
And he doesn't mind using us as bait?
If Ryan thought we were in any real danger, he would have come with us. He knows we can handle whatever happens.
Is Ryan evil?
What? How could you even ask that?
Well, at first I thought he wasn't, but now he's done some things, and I wonder.
Let me assure you, Ryan is one of the most pure people you'll ever meet. He has to be.
What does that mean?
In order to become the Hyperion, one must be pure of heart. Do selfless things, look out for others, whatnot.
Ryan doesn't seem very innocent and pure.
There's a big difference between being innocent and being pure.
Can the Hyperion marry?
You're not serious.
I was just curious. I mean, I never see him on dates, and I was just wondering if he had to take a vow of celibacy or something.
No, Ryan can marry. You're barking up the wrong tree, though.
What, is he gay?
No. He's, damaged.
What does that mean?
You're gonna have to ask him.
So, how's it going? You guys find anything yet?
Nope. How did things go with the CDC?
Not so good. It seems that they're taking this very seriously. They've caught in some pretty highfalutin people from all around the globe. It seems that they got into a bit of trouble when they let this vampire escape from San Francisco.
What about Thomas and the Lugea?
Still chasing their tails. But I'm not sure if they were being literal.
Are we going to keep looking?
No. It's time we draw this vampire out.
And how are we going to do that?
Carefully.
Hey, all you night owls. Is the human race going crazy, or is it just me? Seems like all you hear is bad news lately. Anybody feel the same way? Feel like the world's cracking at the seams? Why don't we make that the topic for tonight? And if that doesn't work, you can all go back to calling in with the usual pervert stuff. Well, looks like the boards are lighting up. Aren't I the popular one? Let's see. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Who will be the lucky caller? You've got the first shot at Deb tonight. So, who do I have the pleasure of speaking to?
Yes, but why do I have to be the bait?
Because we need a human in order to draw the vampire out, and you lost the game of paper, rock, scissors. Don't look up here.
And this horrible smelling perfume is supposed to help how?
No, the odor should lure the vampire and make you more attractive.
What am I supposed to do when it gets here? Raise my arms in the air and hope it faints?
No, you are going to run as soon as you see the vampire and let us take care of it. Who is she again?
That's Tiana.
Right. Hey, where'd you get those?
Brought him from home.
Well, let me see.
No, they're mine.
Come on, man, let me see them.
No, get your own.
Dude, give them to me.
No.
What are you doing? Give it over. You little weapon. So, what do you think that the Order of Shadows wants with a vampire-fae hybrid?
Do we ever know what they're thinking? Pompeii? The 1033 earthquake in Palestine? Chernobyl?
Okay, something's wrong.
Something is very wrong. Those guys have a death count that makes me blush.
No, I mean, the vampire should be here by now. Give them to me! No! Give them to me! No! Oh, hi! Nice weather we're having today. Do you hear screaming?
Sounds like screaming to me.
Where are my binoculars?
Caller 2, you're on the Deb of Night. Be gentle.
Of night.
That's me.
I recently found out I was a vampire.
Oh, I was one of those once, and then it was November 1st.
That's not a joke. I'm really worried about this.
Uh-huh.
This girl at the club took me into the bathroom and she did something to me.
Back in my club days, we used to call that a favor. Oh, caller, could you hold on? I've got Frankenstein on the line. Frankenstein, something you want to add to this conversation? I see. Your rebuttal, caller.
I'm not lying. It happened to me. It could happen to anyone. Fire!
Ooh, good point. You want some advice? Wash off the eyeliner, put on something that's not black, and go get a tan at the beach.
What's the lesson that we learned from tonight?
Always pay attention on a stakeout.
I was actually going for don't steal my binoculars, but that works too.
So, how are we going to bait this thing?
Honestly, I don't know. I've never hunted a vampire before, much less a hybrid.
What I don't understand is how it knew we were going to ambush it. Shouldn't it be a mindless animal by now?
Unless that's what the Order of Shadows was trying to accomplish.
So what? We're just gonna sit here and wait for it to fall into our laps?
You'd be surprised how often that actually happens.
You have a call back for 8622 Central? Negative K, nothing further, just see the cabbie on the corner.
Well, that's exactly what I didn't want to hear.
Isn't that near where we just were?
Probably hungry from its fight with you two.
Alright, Tiana, come with me. We'll see if we can track this thing to its lair.
You're leaving us here with her?
Yes, and use this time to think about what you've done.
So why aren't we at the crime scene again?
Because I know the vampire isn't at the crime scene, but if we're lucky, he's still in this area.
But won't the CDC think that also?
Well, the Lugea is supposed to be taking care of that, but yes, we should be on the lookout for him.
And how is the Lugea supposed to be taking care of it? Is that a human or a fae?
I can't tell. Oh, no, that's a fae.
How can you tell?
That orb that he's holding, that's called a scrying orb. If you have the blood of somebody that you're looking for, that orb can help you find them. You have to have magic in order to use it. Ergo, fae. My guess would be he's probably from the Order of Shadows.
So what are we going to do?
I am going to go over there and take that orb from him while you make sure that you have your phone on vibrate, and I'll text you when I'm ready.
And what am I supposed to do?
Distract him.
And how am I supposed to do that?
I'm sure you'll think of something.
Hey, you over there. Do you by chance know where the nearest Toys R Us is? No, don't kill him!
You know, later, I'm going to explain to you what exactly a distraction is.
I'm sorry, I thought you were going to kill him.
Why would I kill him? This means that we have a dead body we would have to take care of. And if the police found him before we were done, we'd be just as bad as if they found the vampire.
So we're just going to leave him there?
Well, we can take him home, but only if you promise to feed and water. He'll be fine. He'll wake up in a few hours with nothing more than a headache and a lot of shame.
And that?
Take this home to Clinton's and see if one of them can start it.
Caller, you're whiling away the evening with the Deb of Night.
Deb, I think the world's been messed up, is messed up, and will continue to be messed up.
Oh, an optimist.
Now, bear with me, but I know what the cause of all the world's problems is.
Nipples on TV?
Exactly.
Nudity?
Not too much nudity. Not enough nudity. Clothes make a person dishonest. They're hiding their true selves away under them. Clothes promote problems like class and sense of piety and concealed weapons. Why, how much do you think we spend on clothes as a people? What if that money were going towards science? Why, we'd be living in a futuristic techno-world by now.
Have you ever been to a nudist colony? Not attractive.
The fact that you think it should be is a side effect of the prurient media. You're not desensitized to nudity. Just think, if the man at the movie concession wasn't wearing his pants today, you'd storm out of the theater in a tizzy. But in a nude world, it'd be popcorn and a medium soda, please.
No, I think what would happen is I'd lose my appetite.
And isn't obesity one of our nation's biggest problems? Another benefit of nudity. And what about all that hullabaloo that people make when a person walks around the way Mother Nature made him on a brisk spring afternoon? Arrested for public indecency? Why, in a nude world, it'd be commonplace. Folks would ask you, how many people did you expose yourself to today?
As proud as I am of my girls, I think I'm going to limit them to private appearances.
And that is exactly why I do not wear suspenders in public.
How'd it go?
Oh, good. Can any of you guys figure out how that works?
Define works.
Define guys.
Where did you get that?
Ryan took it off some Order of Shadow guy.
Is that right?
What's wrong?
Would it do any good if I lied?
Not if you're gonna tell me that you're gonna lie before you actually do.
I screwed up big time.
How so?
I almost slit a man's throat in front of Tiana.
Yeah. And?
And she has never seen anybody killed before. At least, nobody that looks human.
Ah, I see. You don't want to be the one to pop that particular cherry. You know, the longer she hangs around you, the more inevitable it's going to be that she's going to see death. And in more than one way.
I know, but that doesn't mean I can't delay it for as long as possible.
Aha! It's working!
Give me that before you break it.
Can you use that to track the vampire?
If we get close enough, I could do it with both eyes closed, my hands tied behind my back, and walking backwards.
That was specific.
Anything yet?
Seems to be having trouble honing in. Probably due to the vampirism changing his blood.
Will it still work?
If we get close enough, it will.
Why aren't Thomas and Clinton helping out?
Oh, they said they had other things to do.
You wouldn't be trying to keep them away from me now, would you?
Oh, they're doing that all on their own. They don't need my help.
Is something wrong?
It's just that in the past 6 weeks, all it seems that's ever happened to me is that I have gotten my butt kicked.
I know what it is.
What? What? Her? What would she have to do with it?
I heard about that Order guy you almost killed. How much of yourself are you holding back around her?
Look, it's just that I don't want her
You know,
to...
if she's gonna be around, she's gonna have to see the real you eventually.
I'm just saying.
He's here. Are you okay? Look at.
Lies down, but a good one is never to take the road.
You're okay.
There are lines of marching men, its greatest pass me by. The pipes that have no
I don't need to. No. Fine. Just stand right there.
Why?
I just need to make sure you're okay.
I'm fine. There's nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong. What is this accomplishing?
Come on, let's go.
Line 5, you're on with the Deb of Night. So tell me, society going to hell or not?
This is it. This time I've stumbled across something that's bigger than anything you could possibly imagine. A threat to the entire human race's existence.
Ah, Gomez! You know, it's been a bad night when I've been looking forward to your call.
Deb, nothing could prepare the world for this. This is the biggest story in the history of humanity ever. Ever, Deb. How I found this out I can't say, but I'm risking my life to tell the world this. Are you prepared for this?
Sure.
People of Los Angeles, vampires walk among us.
Ugh, not vampires again.
Hear me out, Deb. Vampires are among us and have been since the dawn of time. In Los Angeles, well, there's more vampires per person here than anywhere else in the world. People are killed by vampires all the time, but their secret vampire society covers it up.
Vampires, they're everywhere. You can't throw a rock in the city without hitting a vampire.
It's the truth, Deb. The undead are all around us. We need to rise up and destroy our evil vampire overlords before it's too late.
You heard him, folks. Gather up your crosses, garlic, and neck braces. Oh, brother.
You'd better make this quick, Minos. I need it back in San Francisco.
Don't worry. This will be very quick. Mind explaining why one of your test subjects is running loose despite the order that all projects were to be stopped until our project in April?
Look, stopping our work for a year would have set us back decades.
Then be set back decades. Not only did you let him escape, but you also failed to apprehend him. And now, the Hyperion found him in Los Angeles, which could lead him to other of our projects, other order branches.
No, it won't. Just give me, I can fix this.
Oh
Just
no,
give me
you've done enough.
So, how are you gonna clean this mess up?
Hyperion isn't focusing on Mr. Silver like we'd hoped. I think it's time we give him some more incentive.
Wow, is this our new place?
For now.
How can you afford this?
Oh, I contacted the magistrate of the Hyperion of the land where we killed the vampire. Told him that this place would be adequate compensation for all the hard work that we did.
You didn't take his summer home, did you?
No. This is his mistress's summer home.
Wait, why would he pay you for killing the vampire?
Because that's how I make my money. See, I find an evil fae, I kill an evil fae, then I contact the lord of the land where I killed the evil fae, and I tell him to pay me for all my good work.
And what happens if he doesn't pay you?
Then I refuse to work in his land, and evil fae will flock to it once word gets out that it's a safe haven from me.
That's what happened in San Francisco.
Go pick out a room. Go with her and make sure she doesn't break anything.
You know, you did pretty good. Not once mentioned children, changelings, kids. But did you really think that that was going to make me forget about Selena?
She's not your concern.
I am her closest living relative. That not only makes her my concern, but also my responsibility.
She's not your responsibility, she's mine.
Do you really think that just because you raised her, shielded her from who she really is, that makes you her father?
You're damn right it does. Now you listen and you listen good, Lugea. If the time comes, and if I need your help, then I will call you. Until that time, you are not to make any kind of contact with Selena. If you talk to her, if you even talk about her, I swear on the name of your father and the God that I worship that I will make those 300 years that I spent tracking you down seem like a vacation.
Okay, Hyperion. I will stay away from Selena. But when the time comes, I will be there.
Alright, this place is pretty awesome.
Why'd you like it? Is something wrong?
No, everything's fine, honey. We were just talking about the past and the future.
Sounds dangerous.
We'll see. Well, I'd best be getting back to San Francisco now. The place has probably turned to order and serenity without my presence. And you, honey, you look after these boys, okay? Oberon knows that they get into enough trouble without a woman around.
Sure.
take over on. Thought she would never leave.
Guess I should call Thomas and tell him that the coast is clear.
I don't care what you guys say. She's not that bad.
Evil comes in more than one form. It's not always one giant terrifying monster. Sometimes it comes in warm, friendly smiles.
Well, Deb's not undead, but the sun will be up soon and she's dead tired. She's going home to get some hard-earned R&R. But don't worry, she'll be back same time, same station tomorrow night. Until then, fans, don't let the vampires bite.